So to get to the bushing, you have to get behind this wheel well, and you have to take this pin off the plastic retaining clip thing. You got to take these out. They don't pop out like the normal plastic things because they have these little tabs. So you have to squeeze these tabs on either side. So the best way to do that is to get a flathead and sneak it underneath and push on either side and pull on one side. Here, this just pulls out. Here and here. If your wheel well is clipped in, if the orange clip that this bolt screw goes into is also clipped to the wheel well, then you need to put your hand through here all the way to the back side of this, and you have to pinch the plastic clip while the bolt is out of it to push it out, and squeeze these two pieces together and then pry it out from the outside. And then because it's mounted incorrectly from the factory. In order to change the bushing on the front, you don't have to take the whole fender well out, and you don't have to take the fender flare off. See it. I take all these screws out. There's 3 screws, and they're a 10mm or screwdriver, and then there's this little piece that sucks, and you have to get that separated from this hole. It goes inside of this and it snaps inside of this piece of metal that's part of the bumper, and that's the only hard part. And that's about it. But you don't have to take the whole fender well out, which we made that mistake. And then the fender flare on the top of the fender flare is glued, so if you take the fender flare off, you're not going to be able to glue. You'd have to glue it back together, and it's definitely not going to be right after you do that. And then what else? Anyways, okay, so should we shout out to JR Taco, or what is his name? JR Tacoma, Jesse something Taco. All right, so anyways, you pull the fender well is flexible, so you pull out away from the fender flare, and then you just pop this over your steering the linkage, and then that'll give you plenty of room. So this is flexible. You can pull this back, put this inside right there, hold it. Well, that won't hurt anything. And then where's the other piece? We can show them how shitty
it's in the bucket.
Yeah, this was the bad one.
No, this one's the bad one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Alright, well. So this was like this. And then this slid inside of here. And then we gotta take the top bushing out still. But this is gonna go through the top of the cab mount, and then through, and then I think the nut goes on here after, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, the Well, I don't know. So this is what was squeaking, right?
It wasn't squeaking. It was like a
It was
clunk.
like a clunk. But you can clearly see that even after what, 4 years? How old is the truck?
Yeah, it's
4 years
2022.
old. It's already bad. Then all right. So now instead of using a level,
We're gonna now lift the body off the
we're gonna
frame
use a house jack.
using a jack. This is gonna be the front part.
And if you don't have a house jack, you can use like a 6x6, or you know, I mean, we're doing it on a lift, so but most people are gonna not have a lift. But you don't really have to jack it up that high. But then you would use a jack, and then some. You can probably even use a 2x4, but I'd probably use a 6x6. It's a 4x4. Something that has strength to it. But this is gonna be able to go up high enough. Just get this in here. I mean, they would be a lot lower on the ground, so
We still gotta get access to it.
yeah, I can get it from right here. So this has to, you have to jack the cab up a little bit, and there should be a little bit of flex from the other bushing on the cab. Okay, see, now it's going out.
Is this gonna lift it off the lift?
Well, we only have to lift it up a little bit. So like that. And now, so I can fit my hand in there now. So
Pretty easy, huh?
it came out really easy. Yeah, it's all messed up. 4 years, should not look like that. But this slides in between here after you jack up the cab from the frame, which it shouldn't, it's not that much, it shouldn't hurt anything. And that just, that sneaks in there like that. That sits in there like that, and then the bolt goes through it, and the cab squeezes on the frame there. Pull it right out. Yeah, that's messed up. Alright. Alright, so then get the replacement one. So yeah, so we can literally just pop that right back in now. This is crazy.
There should be a washer too, right? Was there not a washer on it?
Yeah, so it looks just like that. Alright, replacement. And looks identical. These are off of Amazon. How much were they?
Like 15 bucks.
15 bucks compared to like
With the whole set.
$800. Yeah, the whole set. And what was it? It's $800 to get to have Toyota change this. And we've been on in here for like what?
Not even an hour.
Yeah, we don't know what the hell we're doing.
Helps to have a lift.
Yeah, that too. Alright, we're in.
Got it.
Yeah, so you just rotate it. You rotate it until, like, turn it until it gets in there. And then you want to get it nice and straight. Alright. So that's in. Now we're going to
This washer
lower
goes
it
on the
down.
bottom then.
We're going to put the bolt to the top. So I figure put the bolt in. Put the bolt in while it's up, so that it doesn't. You don't have any issues lining it up. After the cab has the weight on the frame. Although I'm wondering maybe that's why it had the problem in the first place. Probably would have been better to do this with a jack. Just because it's hydraulic, you can go down a little bit faster. This is kind of overkill, so we have to switch this. Oh, actually, look, because I can do that. No, so it goes down slow. I gotta get those down. Nice and straight. But yeah, this is cool. I like house jack's cool. It's a little overkill though. Okay. I wonder if we should put WD-40 in that so it seats correctly. But do you think the WD-40 is gonna
Corrode it. Yeah, maybe.
because it's rubber, oil on rubber?
Yeah, I wouldn't put it on there.
All right. I mean,
They
it,
can make grease found it. They didn't do it in the other video.
I don't know, because it's, see, looks like why it's getting messed up. It's not seating in there correctly. Well, it's not going in the hole right. What about Armor All?
Let me just put some
It's-
oil on it.
For rubber, plastic, and vinyl.
Alright.
Alright, cool. Here's a little trick. This should work. Alright, so we're gonna use Armor All because it says it's good for rubber. I don't know. Anyways, a little bit right on the frame. Give it a spin. And now it should go in easier.
Is it working?
Alright, now we're in. I think so. Ah, yeah, we're in. Look at that. So much better. Yeah. It's fully,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
it's like fully in it. It was getting caught before. Alright, so. Like right now.
Oh, yeah.
Have a cheat code. Yeah, that's nice. I wonder if that's why that happened. Because it was only screwed up on one side. It looks like they pinched it, and that's why it's gone down.
Well, we haven't taken the other side off yet.
Yeah, true.
And the other side looked destroyed too.
Yeah. This up in there, and your rubber bottom bushing washer, and your nut. All right, now we're gonna do the other side. All right, side plate. Yeah, that's good. So this is gonna go over there. The block's gonna go up to that.
So this?
Yeah, like that in here. This area right there. So how bad is that one?
Pretty bad too.
Yeah, same thing. I swear, from the factory. See how screwed up it is? From the factory, they didn't like lubricate this, so it went in screwed up. So when they clamped it,
Well, this is what all the ones online look like too.
yeah, but I think that's why, because they should have to put some type of a lube so that this can go in and squeak, kind of slide right into place correctly.
Yeah.
I think what they're doing is they're putting it in and it's getting all stuck. It's getting like caught up on the
yeah.
and it's crushing it, and then it's staying like that.
Okay. Can you grab me the?
Yeah. Not good.
Just spray on now.
Yeah, I can just spray a little bit on. I gotta go with those glasses. It'd be so much easier than flopping around off camera. This is probably gonna be super shaky. originally they had this orange piece in the fender well, and it does not need to go in the fender well too, because then you can't take it out. This piece should go in only this metal because it stays, and the plastic piece needs, the fender well has to get removed to work on this stuff. So that it's ridiculous to have to pull the bumper off. Actually, you wouldn't even be able to pull the bumper off. So they literally installed this incorrect. That's why it was so hard to take off. So if this piece gets clipped into this piece of metal right here, and that will always stay. This, it can get removed now. When all you do is you screw this in. So this gets dropped down. The fender well gets slid in underneath here, and then the little screw that goes here will squeeze that together. But this was originally through the fender well and then into that, which would make it impossible to take the fender well off without I had to squeeze my hand in here, and it hurt. So that's fixed. So let's back out. This is gonna slide up into here, and you gotta make sure that all this gets tucked up into the bumper. Here's that piece. Here's that piece. This needs to go in between there. Alright. It's alright. It goes right into place like it's supposed to be like that. I don't know why they would do that.